Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Thomas Reactions YouTube channel. And today is Sunday the 5th of March, which means last night was Misfits X Series 5. Now yesterday I dropped my predictions, and then after the event I dropped a quick snippet of my live reactions, but this is my thoughts after, and to see if I've got the predictions right. Now, starting with the first bout, which was Temple Art versus Godson. Going into this, I said I think Temple Art will win by knockout, and it was similar. I was right, Temple Art did win, but he won by Godson retiring after the first round because he separated his shoulder, which wasn't evident, but I think he he could have continued. But I think anyone who has a separated shoulder and is getting banged up by Temple Arts like that, I think, it was right for him to stop the fight. So that was a Temple Arts win, technically by knockout. It's a TKO, technically. Retirement of that corner. So that I got right. Let's move on to the next fight. Halal Ham, boss man from the corner shop, versus Ginty. Now, in my predictions, I said Ginty is just too big for Halal Ham. I said he can take shots. I said Ginty would take anything Halal Ham took at him and throw it back. And well, we got 4 rounds of nothing. Ginty just fainting, right? And this fight being a failure was not the fault of Halal Ham. It was the fault of Ginty. Here's why. Halal Ham was trying to box. Halal Ham was trying to get his jabs in there. And then jab, and overhand. But he couldn't get in because Ginty is a lot bigger than Halal Ham. A lot taller, a lot longer. His range is a lot better. So Halal Ham couldn't get to Ginty. Halal Ham was trying. He's a big man, he's not fast. So he had to get past that guard. Ginty didn't let him. Credit to Ginty for not letting Halal Ham touch him. Ginty didn't, Ginty kept his distance. But yeah, credit to Ginty for keeping his distance and not allowing Halal Ham to touch him. But Ginty did nothing but feint. And then obviously the one time Ginty knocked him down when Halal Ham had him backed up in the corner, Ginty just caught a quick right hand on the head, and I think it was not hard whatsoever. It was a flash knockdown. It tapped Halal Ham on top of the head, twisted him that way, obviously lost his balance and fell. It was very unfortunate fight. I think Ginty went over the top in his celebration because he could have done a lot better, and he knows he could have. He should have been knocking out Halal Ham. He should have been exploiting that range. He should have been jab, big right. He should have been exploiting that. But it is what it is. Mams Taylor said after the fight, if you go in there and don't fight, you won't be on Misfits again. I agree with him when he said that about Ginty, because Ginty wasn't given enough. I think people are going to say the same about Halal Ham, but I can see what Halal Ham was trying to do, and credit to him. But again, I predicted right. I didn't predict knockout, but I predict Ginty would win. So, my prediction's still right. Still stands. Next fight. The female fight. The first women's Misfits fight. First women's Misfits belt. I keep getting it wrong. It's like the third Misfits fight right now, right? Astrid Wet, AJ Bunker. It was a very good fight. Very entertaining. Again, Astrid Wet kind of just had a jab and a right. She had a technique right. AJ Bunker, however, just had fight. She had fighting power, so she was able to make Astrid bleed and back her off and managed to stay in the fight. Problem with these, with this fight is there's not enough form there. There's not enough good technique. Like when I said Astrid Wet has good technique, I mean she has a good jab. She's good at establishing her jab and then adding the right hand to it. But apart from that, it was sloppy. There was wrists going everywhere, but it was entertaining nonetheless, and I respect both of them for going the full 3 rounds. They were bloody, sweaty, hurt, whatever. Very entertaining. I predicted right again. Astrid Wet won by decision, not by knockout, but that's fine. She got the belt. And one thing I'd like to mention after this fight is Elle Brook, after this fight, even though there was a whole build-up saying, oh yeah, Elle Brook and Astrid Wett will fight for that belt, Elle Brook, after the fight, said, nah, I don't think I will fight Astrid Wett. Why? You have all the tools to beat Astrid Wett. Like, you have speed, you have power, which Astrid Wett does not have much of. Right, your technique is better. You have head movement, which Astrid Wett absolutely does not have. You have head movement, right? You could destroy Astrid Wett, take the only belt in the women's division, and become the queen of misfits, as Astrid Wett likes to call herself. But Elle Brooks missed out on an opportunity there and said no. There couldn't have been anything in that fight that have scared you. You know, after watching that fight and her previous fight, you could knock her out and take that belt and take the crown. I don't know why you don't want to. And here's why. Because on the pre-show, she was talking about her hit list. On that hit list was Just a Minx. I agree, that would be a great fight. Just a Minx and Elba, great fight. But then she also talked about some other MMA stars and Ronda Rousey. She wants to fight Ronda Rousey. Is she mad? Now, I get Ronda Rousey's in the WWE now, and she's not doing too well at that because, I mean, she can't sell shite. But Ronda Rousey can throw hands. It doesn't matter if she's been out the ring, out the octagon, and out of, like, fight sports for a while. She can throw hands, and I don't see Elle Brook winning that one. Yes, it's boxing and not MMA, but this is completely different. There's Jake Paul fighting Ben Askren, boxing, MMA, obviously Jake Paul would win that one. And then there's Elle Brook fighting Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey was the best female UFC fighter to ever live. She was the baddest woman on the planet. She's Ronda flipping Rousey. You're not taking that fight. I mean, respect if you do. I'd love to watch it, but I don't think that's going your way, my friend. Now, the tag team match. Luis Alcaraz Pineda, B-Dave, Los Pinedas Coladas versus Ice Poseidon, some other guy, right? D-Generation Ice, what a rip-off name, right? Went in there exactly how I said it would be a knockout. Literally, Ice Poseidon and this other dude wanted nothing of that fight. They got banged up. They absolutely got destroyed. I think they landed one shot the whole fight. Pineda was tearing it up 2-on-1. Completely tearing them up. They wanted nothing. They didn't want to be in there. They were tagging it in and out constantly. Pineda could have knocked them out 2-on-1, but this is the nice man that Pineda is. Pineda banged them up to the point where none of them wants to continue. No one wants to tag in. So then he tags in B-Dave, and B-Dave just takes the finish. Absolutely beautiful. That's called tag team work. Absolutely beautiful boxing. I loved it. That is amazing. We need... I wasn't on board with the tag team boxing at first, but now actually I agree. Yes, we need to get that because that's entertaining. If you can get some of the worst boxers in the Misfits scene to put on a show like that, that is amazing. And I'm not talking about Pineda because Pineda's amazing. But I want to see that again. Honestly, that was amazing. Then, here is where my prediction goes wrong. King Kenny TV. Ashley Raksu. I said this would be a Kenny win. Not by knockout, but by absolute masterclass. I said Kenny would outclass, outbox, and dominate Ashley Raksu, which is what he should have done. But instead, he went into this fight thinking, oh, I'm going to look like Floyd Mayweather. I'm going to go in there and make it look so nice and pretty by just dodging all his shots and then hit a few jabs and win. That's not going to work. Ashley Raksu, no matter what anyone says, Ashley Raksu won every single round of that fight. Because Kenny just decided, oh yeah, I'm just going to dodge and make it look pretty and then not throw anything. That's not how you win, right? Credit to Ashley Raksu. He went in there, he landed heavy shots. His defense was good. His cardio was good. King Kenny just went in there. Boo, boo, couple feints. Lovely feints. And again, dodging. I admit, it was great defense. It was great boxing from Kenny. If only it was in an 8-round fight, a 10-round fight, a 12-round fight. But it's not. It's a 4-round fight. You could maybe do that for the first 2 rounds. But at a minimum, by the 3rd round, you need to then be putting on the pressure. Because that's good. Because that's to get into your opponent's head. That's great defense. That's to show your levels above. But when you're not giving anything back, that's just showing good. You can defend yourself, but you can't fight. At the end of the day, you're fighting. Yes, they say defend yourself at all times, but you have to fight to convincingly win. And I think the sheer fact of your reaction to the fight when you lost, when Judge scored it for Ashley Raksu, you were like, what? Shut up. You won all 4 rounds. When the judge scored it a draw, that's very kind. And you're like, what? And then when one of the other judges scored it for you, and Ashley Raksu was like, nah, Howie, that's a fair reaction. Ashley Raksu won that fight, proved me wrong, proved Kenny wrong. And in fact, it's not that Kenny couldn't beat Ashley Raksu. Kenny could 100% beat Ashley Raksu. But he didn't apply himself. He just simply was completely inactive, didn't do enough, and cost him the fight. And Daily Perales went on his story and was like, oh, if this was professional boxing, we would have won. No. Because guess what they do in professional boxing? They count your punches. They count they count how aggressive you are. They go, oh, who was the aggressor? Who landed more shots? And when landed more shots, that doesn't mean thrown. That means who threw and landed more successful shots. Kenny didn't. Kenny threw feints. I'd say Kenny landed a maximum of 10 jabs in the whole fight. Right? Daily Perales went in there and said Ashley Raksu wasn't connecting with Kenny. Yes, he was. There was at least 3 times where Ashley Raksu chin checked Kenny and he caught him on the chin. And Kenny decided, no, I'm going to do nothing. There was one point at the end of the first round where Kenny had a cruel part of defense. And that's when he went up to the ropes, let Ashley Raksu throw, and he moved backwards and completely dodged it. But then it all got ruined when he failed and got caught again. Complete disappointment. But it is what it is. Fair play, Ashley Raksu. We actually won that fight. Okay. And this is, by the way, King Kenny, this is the same man that said he would beat Jay Swingler, beat Tempar again, and said he would beat basically anyone, yet he can't apply himself for the throw. Now the next fight. Dean the Great defending his title against Puliarif, or Puliarif, whatever you want to call it. I had Dean the Great winning this fight by knockout. That he didn't do, but he won by unanimous decision, got a knockdown, won all 4 rounds. Clear victory for Dean the Great, but it was a great fight because they had lots of tormenting, lots of games, lots of entertainment, good fighting, good jabs from Pully, good rights from Dean, and then the great sportsmanship at the end. I mean, it was very good. Set up a great fight for Dean the Great to rematch Waleed Sharks or fight Adam Salah, whatever you want to call it. Predicted that right. I get half a point. I said he'd win by knockout, but he won nonetheless. Main event. Jay Swingler, Nick Alameo. I was disappointed in Jay. Maybe Nick was better than we thought. But I had Jay winning by like first or second round knockout. It went all the rounds. Nick won. Not Nick. Jay won by split decision. Some would argue a very controversial decision. But I'll take it because I don't think I could emotionally deal with Jay losing. I don't think I could. And I think the reason why the refs say Jay won is because Jay's defense was great. Like, people were saying Nick was throwing and landing a lot more. But when Nick threw, that's because Jay went on his defensive. Jay went on his back foot, put his guard up, right? And which is, it's a decent guard, but it's not the best because Nick would throw and Jay would stop half the punches because half the punches would hit you and he'd block half them. But that's when he was defending against Nick's shots. Sometimes Jay would just get tired of throwing. He'd throw a couple, get tired and block up. And then when he got tired and block up, Nick could get his jab through this guard because it wasn't like that enough. And at the same time, he could get his hooks onto the temple and on the side of the face. Jay was just letting them go through all there. You get what I'm saying? But I think a draw would have been understandable. But I'll take the Jay win. Right, and if they want a rematch, they can get a rematch, and Jay can work harder on his cardio, because I think that's what let him down this fight. And less on overextending the right. I think what he's looking for was what he did against Chudley. So he's got a very powerful jab. That's one thing I will say about Jay. His jab is impeccable. I love it. Right, it's like a Tommy Fury jab. It's bang, right, but he doesn't throw enough uppercuts and hooks. He's a bang, and he overextends the right, and he's whoa, all the way there, and he can lose his balance if he gets caught, and that's what happened. So, very entertaining event still. Very, very proud of it. Mams Taylor, though, said the same thing about Kenny that he did against Ginty, where he said, if you don't fight, you won't be on Misfits. I think that's not what Kenny was trying to do. I think Kenny was trying to fight, but he was trying to box when it's a fight. Like, what Kenny was doing was right, except he didn't add the shots. I agree with the Ginty one, because Ginty just didn't do anything whatsoever. But Kenny just didn't apply himself enough. But there it is. There's the event nonetheless. I think normally as a fight of the night and knockout of the night, they didn't do that. Surprisingly why. There was only one knockout, which again, actually no, there was two, but one was a legit knockout. And that knockout was my knockout of the night and also fight of the night. And that was the tag team match. Pineda and B Dave beat D-Generation Ice. Shocker. I thought that would be terrible. It was actually great. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this episode on the Thomas Reactions YouTube channel. And goodbye.
I'ma keep it easy, scratch tracks, that won't please me. I like that song to do talking. I know you ain't getting away, you ain't walking. Like at the gym, I'm lifting weights. I'ma keep it going at a steady pace.